Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. For our radio audience tuning in at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all can be with us. Also joining us online worldwide via our podcast at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music. We're glad you all could join us as well. This is part of our Music and Youth segment here at WYAD, and today we're talking about the importance of women not only paying attention to their oral health in general, but also especially when it comes to entering menopause. As women age and begin menopause, oral health and hygiene become increasingly important, and a change in hormone levels during menopause can actually cause gums to become swollen, irritated, and more susceptible to bleeding, which could also lead to tooth decay, gingivitis, and even in many cases, other forms of gum disease. Well, if you're looking for help, we're excited to welcome Sarah Chavarria to our broadcast today. Sarah is the CEO and president of Delta Dental Insurance Company. She's going to talk with you guys not only about the impact of menopause on oral health, but also where you can go for more information as well. Sarah, thank you again for the information. Really appreciate it.
Oh, excited to be here.
So this is an important topic, and it's something I think we don't think a lot about. I mean, I think we think about Sarah in general as we age. Of course, the importance of taking care of our oral health. But how can women expect their oral health to change during menopause?
This is such an important topic. So during menopause and even perimenopause, our estrogen levels drop, and with that, we have reduced saliva production. And so we know that entering menopause can have incredible impacts on our overall health and on our oral health as well. And you mentioned some of the things women might experience: dry mouth, burning tongue, changes in their gums, bleeding gums, and even tooth decay. And we learned from this survey of women 40 and older that about more than half haven't really made that connection yet. So it's an important topic. So thanks for talking about it.
Yeah, I'm glad to be able to do it, and I think this is a conversation, Sarah, my mother recently had with her dentist, and so I think this is why it's so important for our audience as well, which brings up the impact and the importance of dental visits, which we know they're important anyway. We know that dentists are open to having this conversation. How can women have these discussions with their dentist without feeling uncomfortable about it?
Yeah, so we know through this survey, we talked to dentists, too, that 84% are comfortable having the conversation, but more than half say they won't initiate it. So really, really great to make some suggestions, which is, look, if you don't feel comfortable walking in, it's not really a private setting and saying, hey, I think I'm entering menopause, maybe talk about the symptoms, right? Say, hey, I'm noticing some changes in my gums, or I feel like I've got dry mouth, like what's going on there. Maybe that's a great way to open the window to start having that conversation. And if that still feels a little intimidating, we recommend maybe sending an email a week or two in advance and saying, hey, here's some things I'd really like to talk about when I come in. And that way they've got a heads up that you're coming and that you're going to want to talk about these things. We know that 64% of women 40 and older know that conversation with their dentist is really important, and 93% want it tailored to them, right? Because no two women are going through this the same.
Right. To that same point, though, Sarah, I do want to ask a quick follow-up to that, because as I mentioned, we all know the importance of dental visits in general. Are you seeing that some women, as they do get older, are not going to the dentist as often?
So what we know is that 27 million Americans aren't going to their primary care physician, which is another important healthcare checkpoint, but they are going to their dentist. And we've seen that since COVID, people are returning to the dentist, not just once a year, but twice a year. So we're feeling really, really encouraged by that. And we're also feeling really encouraged by the women who participated in our survey. 82% said, ooh, I'm going to go make my appointment now. And the majority of them said, I'm going to pay more attention to what's happening in my mouth and take better care of my oral health, because we know it can point to or lead to things like heart health and diabetes and other things that are really important to pay attention to.
Yeah. Really good point for sure. I know I turned 49 this year and had my recent dental visit, and they encouraged me, instead of just doing once a year, to do twice a year. So I think that's an important thing as well. So education is so important, Sarah, when we're having conversations like this. I'm sure a lot of our audience either have family members or maybe themselves maybe feel like this is a relief, this is something that they can be able to address. What do you hope happens as more women learn about the links between menopause and oral health as far as the education aspect of this?
What we're really hoping is that we really break down that gap, right? We want to bring awareness so that women are talking about what are they going through, and they're seeking information. I think the more we talk about things, the more we break the stigma around talking about menopause, and the more we learn. And most importantly, we want people, women, but people, to think about that dental visit not just as a cleaning, but in a healthcare checkpoint. Sometimes it's the only healthcare practitioner you might engage with once or twice a year, and they are interested in helping you take care of your holistic health. And so those conversations are really important. So we're trying to shift that mindset a little bit. It's not just about cleaning up your smile and removing the plaque. It's really an oral health check, which is a healthcare check.
Such an important topic. And I do think for our audience out there, Sarah, that are thinking about this, of course, all of us want to make sure that we're doing all we can to take care of our oral health. But what can women do to improve their overall oral health, especially during menopause, even outside of those dental visits?
So we talked about that, drop in saliva production with the hormonal changes. So the most important thing is stay hydrated, drink water, make sure that you've got, water on hand as much as possible, and then brush twice a day, floss once a day. I know people really don't like flossing, but it's really, really important as a part of your oral health routine. And then make those dental visits and see your healthcare dental provider twice a year.
Such an important topic. Sarah, really appreciate you stopping by and joining us from Delta Dental Insurance Company today to share this information with our audience. Where can they go to find out more information?
They can go to ddins.co/menopause. We've put a lot of information out there and that email template you can send to your dental office.
Love that. We'll make sure that we link that up for our audience. Sarah, thank you again for the time. Really appreciate it, and looking forward to our next conversation together.
Oh, thank you, Cyrus. Thank you so much.
More than welcome. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live, part of our music and news segment here at WYAD. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.